Can Manny Pacquiao actually become champion at 46 years old? He is fighting Mario Barios this Saturday for the WBC welterweight title. Manny hasn't fought in 4 years after he lost to Yordenis Ugas in 2021. He had an exhibition bout in Japan last year, but it looked like Manny is an 8 division world champion. One of the best of all time. I had the privilege to see him get inducted into the Boxing Hall of Fame back in June. We've seen older fighters win championships before, such as George Foreman when he knocked out Michael Moore at 45 years old, or Bernard Hopkins winning world titles up until he was 49. But this one's going to be interesting. Barios is a 29-year-old 2-division champion. He's in his prime, but in all honesty, I've been saying that he's really not that good. He's a B-level fighter, and he's one of the worst champions in boxing, with all due respect. If a 46-year-old was to beat anyone for a world title, I think Barios is the best shot. Also, if anyone was to come back after a 4-year layoff and win a world title in their first fight back, it's definitely Manny Pacquiao. This fight has received a lot of criticism, which makes a lot of sense. Manny Pacquiao, 46 years old, 4-year layoff, came off a pretty bad loss against Ugas 4 years ago, okay? So it's not like he was on top winning when he retired, right? He retired at an age where he was getting older, much slower, much visibly slower in his fights. Now to just come back and not work your way up, not get tune-up fights like George Foreman did when he had that 10-year layoff. Instead, you skips the line over guys who were ranked. You know, if I'm the number 1 ranked WBC fighter at welterweight, I'll be mad if Manny Pacquiao, a guy who had a 4-year layoff, skips the line and gets an instant world title shot. I could definitely understand the criticism there. At the end of the day, I said this with the Jake Paul video a few days ago. All right, boxing is a business. You have to remember that. Boxing is a business. They're going to pull some tricks that you don't like, especially the WBC. What's going to bring in more money, more viewers, better numbers? Mario Barios versus the number 1 WBC contender that you probably heard of, but you're not really going to spend a lot of money on, or make a pay-per-view fight with Manny Pacquiao, an 8-time division champion, Hall of Famer, one of the best of all time, alrighty, who, of course, was a pay-per-view star when he was fighting against Mario Barios. You're obviously going to pick, as a businessman, you're going to pick the Manny Pacquiao fight. That's so much more money, so much more numbers. I mean, that's a pay-per-view fight. You can't get Mario Barios headlining a pay-per-view fight for the WBC welterweight title. You can't do that. Mario Barios is fighting on the 3rd or 4th fight before the main event, usually. All right, Mario Barios ain't a main event fighter, so it's a business move. You got to understand it. Listen, you don't got to like it. I don't like it, but we're still going to watch. Before we continue, I'm going to give a shout out to my sponsor at Hayabusa, some of the best boxing equipment out there. Make sure to use the code ALEXD, ALEXD. Link is down below in the description. You get a percentage off your order. But can Manny actually win? I'll tell you how. He can't look for the knockout. I mean, he just can't. He never really did look for a knockout in his later career as well. All right, Manny Pacquiao, as he got older, higher in weight, he still had that power. That power still came with him, but he wasn't looking for those one-punch knockouts. All right, he was obviously always those get in, get out, and just try to overwhelm his opponent. He's going to need to do that against Barios. Barios is a tough fighter, I'll give him that. He has heart. He's going to try to walk forward. He's going to try to take advantage of an old man like Manny Pacquiao. All right, he's going to be a good inside fighter. Manny Pacquiao, if he can still do it, is get in and get out. It's crazy how I'm telling Manny Pacquiao how he should fight. Obviously, he's not watching this video, but Manny Pacquiao in his prime, we don't got to tell Manny how to fight. We don't got to expect Manny to do this or that. We just got to, trust Manny to do what he does. Alrighty, but at an old age now, 46 years old, his power is not going to be there to even really damage Barios. But he could outbox him. That's still a possibility by getting in and getting out. Could he do that for 12 rounds? He was always a conditioned fighter, Manny Pacquiao was, but that 4-year layoff, we'll see. He better be training hard. But getting in and getting out, looking to outbox, he can go for the knockout. That's common sense, I'm pretty sure. And styles make fights. Barios beat Ugas. Ugas beat Pacquiao. But styles make fights. 3 different types of fighters there. All right, Ugas has that good reach. Alrighty, Barios, more of a brawler, inside fighter. And Pacquiao, he's everything. Brawler. He could fight in the inside, could fight in the outside, likes to chop the ring, likes to corner the ring. Styles make fights. All right, and this is what I'm very excited to see. So anything could happen. Just because Barios beat Ugas and Ugas beat Pacquiao, boxing math does not work like that. I know we like to think it does. This fighter beat this fighter, so this fighter could be this fighter. That's not how boxing math works. So styles make fights. Pacquiao could win if he tries to outbox and just tries to control the pace, if he can still do that. Alrighty, we know if Manny Pacquiao, prime Manny Pacquiao, he can win anyway. Any way he wants to. He wants to brawl, stand inside, he could beat anybody like Mario Barios. Alright, he could beat Mario Barios easy. 46 years old, is his conditioning going to be there? Is his timing going to be there? Is his reflexes be there? We'll see. I hope so. Listen, I know it's crazy that he's coming back, But how could I hate? How could you hate? How could we complain? I have a 46-year-old Manny Pacquiao, a fan favorite. Everybody loves Manny, unless you're a really diehard Floyd fan. Everybody loves Manny. How could we hate if he becomes champion again? I'm just curious what he's going to do after if he does decide, or he does win the title. Is he going to keep going? That'd be crazy. Imagine in 2026, who would have thought we would see a Rolly Romero versus Manny Pacquiao, or Manny Pacquiao versus Teofimo Lopez? Hey, let's focus one fight at a time. I'm very excited. We have a good card as well. Tim Tszyu versus Fundora. That rematch, much anticipated. I'm rooting for Tszyu. I think he got screwed over with that cut in the first fight. But it is what it is. Fundora is still a freak of nature. He's still a good guy. So it's going to be a very good fight. Hard to root for either or, but I'm kind of rooting for Tszyu because that was his titles and he got screwed over in the first fight. But boxing happens. Anything can happen. We'll see what happens. That's going to be a good fight. Isaac Cruz will also be back, so always good to see him. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, comment down below. Do you think Manny Pacquiao could become champion? If so, how? If he can become champion, well, why not? Is age just a factor? I'm out, guys. Peace.